Hello and welcome. My name is Tom.
And I'm Heather.
And you're sitting at the Couples Table.
The Couples Table is a live stream podcast here on this channel. Join us for better or worse.
For richer or poorer.
In sickness and in health.
Even when we have mismatched audio levels.
Sorry, I didn't get a chance to test it. My bad. That was my fault.
I'll have to check it over
Okay,
here.
he's going to check it over here. Tom is going to check the audio. And hello, shout out to all our early birds. Call me Cubby in the house. What up? Coach Constance is here. Love-Minded Living, hello. The Real Pell Room, hey. And Ernesto, my fave tech, is here. Hello and happy Friday.
I think it's okay.
Great.
It's an interesting thing I'm sort of discovering here.
What are you discovering?
We're using very similar microphones, yet they have different outputs. And that's interesting to me.
There you go. We are going to dive deeper into this interest.
Yes, we will. Okay.
It looks great on camera.
I'm looking at the thing. No, it's basically the same mic you have. But it's cool you can get it white.
Yeah, we haven't had
default.
a white one in this room.
It's purty.
Kyle's here. Hello.
What's up, Kyle?
Hello.
Let's see here.
There you go. Sounds good to me. What do you think? We're checking the audio.
Yes, we will. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
It sounds good.
That sounds good. We're very pro
Jared's
here.
Jared's here. Tom's mic is hotter.
Yeah, it's very interesting though. I wish y'all could see what's happening over here on the audio interface side of things.
So basically, you can't just set it to the same number.
Yeah. So if you're listening or watching or whatever, Heather has the Shure MV7. That's the microphone she got. She got the one from Colorware where you can do custom colors. That was like 3 years ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been great. And the reason you got that microphone, I don't even know if you remember, we did a whole stream where I brought in like all of my mics and we tested all of them on your voice. And we decided what we liked and what people liked. And the two that sounded best on your voice in this space were the Shure MV7 and the Lewitt LCT 240. And they were kind of equal, even though they're very different microphones in terms of like they both sounded great. And then you wanted to go with the Shure because you get custom colors. And it sounds great on your voice ever since. And so you're running it. It's always going into the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 3rd gen, and it's running through a booster in there because
Well, Jared said it sounds even now.
that older interface doesn't have a lot of gain. So I'm using the MV7 Plus.
Yes,
basically
you are.
the updated version that came out recently. And there are some changes to it. I thought the changes are mostly on the USB side. It has sort of different USB functionality. It kind of looks a little different. It's not plugged in, so you can't see it, but the lights are different, and the stuff you can do in the software is different. The XLR type that we've been using, I'm running it into a booster into the 2i2. Heather's gain knob is set to like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and mine had to be turned all the way down to like 11. So
that's huge.
That's a very big difference. Like they're pointed like this. They're not. You would think like, oh, it's an MV7, just match them and you're going to get the same gain. No, this one seems to have a way, I don't know what it is, like more gain output than that one does. I haven't tested that out. I only got it, I think, yesterday. And I've been like playing around with it since maybe 2 days ago. But yeah, anyway.
Well, Kyle says, sorry to hear about the Firebirds.
Oh, there's nothing to be sorry. I mean, bummer they lost, but it was such a good season.
But yeah, it was a fun season.
Yeah, there's so much more. There's so much more to it than like who wins a trophy. It's like, I don't know. It's like our games, right? Like our team that we play on has not won a game yet this season. But it's like, that doesn't mean, I don't know, there's so much more to it than that.
Yeah. Jared remembers that fun stream.
That was fun. It was very cool to see, like, it's not even just about like get this microphone, get that microphone, but it really is like, what do you like? What works on your voice? What works in your space? And all those three things come together. And yours always sounds fantastic. Although your voice sounds good on every mic.
I was gonna say something and then I blanked out.
Oh, okay.
I feel like there was one. No, yeah, the pod mic is the one. That's why I switched microphones to begin with, because it was giving me a headache.
Well, the pod mic, I use it because I had multiples, and I was like, oh, take a pod mic, and
yeah.
But the pod mic tone, especially with no EQ or anything, for like an hour-long podcast or whatever, was just way too. It's just too harsh. And that's when you were like, because at first you were sort of like, I don't want new gear. I don't want to have to buy anything new. Like, what do you already have? And then we kind of went down this route, and I have the original MV7, and you're gonna use that, but then I think we're just won over by the custom color thing, which it is like the coolest microphone ever. So yeah.
Well, let's jump into some tea.
What's the tea?
I don't know. I thought you were gonna have some tea.
Oh, I have some pee, as in pops.
All right, let's talk about it. See,
Well,
that was good.
This kind of just goes on to what we talked about. I know we have a whole topic about monetization that we're going to get to.
Yeah.
But this kind of carries on from last week, which I was talking about pop filters. I had some ones for the SM7B. And I mentioned that Doc Rock has been working for a long time to produce his own microphone pop filters called Doc Pops.
Doc Pops.
And he actually, like literally the next day, I think that was on Friday, on Saturday, I got a package in the mail that had a bunch of his prototypes.
So good.
I hope this is okay. I'm sure he's fine with me showing this on screen. These are ones for the MV7. He also sent me one for the pod mic and a bunch for the SM7B.
So we can try these right now.
Yeah, these are all for the mics that we're using right now.
All right.
Because here's something interesting. You're using the original MV7 pop filter windscreen on yours. I'm using the MV7 pluses. I'm going to take this off. It might introduce some more plosives, but you can see, oh, here, I'll see yours. This is perfect. The new one, even though the microphone design is basically the same, the new pop filter is it's way bigger. And this was my one of my two main complaints with MV7 is that it was just really prone to plosives. I'm scared to say that with an uncovered capsule here. So they made a bigger pop filter. Doc Pops, these are the same exact, well, not exact. They're made for the original MV7, but they are thicker. Instead of this like kind of cheesy foam, they're like actual high quality acoustic foam.
I like this.
And so they potentially could change the sound a bit, but then Peter Piper pitched a podcast. They really help reduce some of those plosives quite a bit more. And so obviously they'd work on either version, any of these microphones, MV7, MV7 Plus, or MV7X. And I have some of there's a cool orange one for the SM7B as well, but it's cool to have options for this microphone instead of having to put the SM7B one on it.
Yeah, that one's too long for it, I feel like.
Yeah, well, the thing is, and it's the reason they made this one taller, is it puts your mouth further away, which reduces plosives. And I know the reason they didn't, and it's because, well, I can even show you on mine since I'm using this. If I turn the microphone, well, okay, I can. Basically, it's so the microphone can flip and the handle can go like straight out around it. And I think that's why they made the windscreen so short. But there's no need, like, you don't need to do that unless you're storing your microphone, which, like, you pretty much never need to do that. So I like that they were just like, forget it, we're just going to do a longer one by default. So by default on the MV7 Plus, you get a better windscreen. If you're using it via USB, it also has a digital pop filter, which works really, really well. That was kind of one of the main things I was actually interested in with this. So,
bam, there you go.
What a long discussion there. And Doc sent I don't know if there was a light blue one, but he sent like this royal blue, which I really like. It kind of blends in with your wall. Probably blend it with my wall, but I like it a lot. So anyway, that's where we're at with I guess I'll stick with this Doc Pop on here. I like the white mic. You can get it in black. It looks good. But I already have the original one in black, and I was like,
I like this white green situation.
Yeah, it's cool. And green is like one of Shure's brand colors anyway, so it makes sense.
There you go.
And speaking of brands, sometimes
Audio Hotline is here. Hey, and Mr. Camera Junkie.
Speaking of personal brands.
Hi, everyone. Hello. He's laughing.
I am laughing.
Why are you laughing, Beb?
Because I'm hilarious.
This is true.
Yeah.
He bit his lip. I'm hilarious. Bite the lip.
Yes. So today,
what are we doing today, Tom?
We're talking about monetization.
We've been talking a lot about monetization offline.
Yeah. It's a hot topic, much like the store in the mall from the early 2000s, and it's not something that I think either of us are experts in, but it's definitely something we have thoughts of. Did you turn on the mid-roll thing?
I did.
Okay.
I don't know what happens. Like, I don't
either. So
okay, so why don't we talk about mid-roll ads? Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, well, just running ads on your YouTube channel in general. So,
well, first of all, you were anti ads at all.
Yeah, when I started my channel, which by the way, tomorrow is the 7-year anniversary of the day I like clicked create channel and
Oh,
started my channel.
wow.
Pretty cool.
Yay.
Yeah. When I started my channel, I had a whole separate website intro that was like, what the Enthusiasm Project is not. And it was like, this is not a source of income. This is not like marketing. This is not all these things. Totally understand where I was coming from.
Yeah.
Totally still, I wouldn't say I have like gone away from, I've evolved to those ideals, not abandoned them.
Well, because there's a way. There's a way.
So the thing I was thinking was when I was going through my teacher training many years ago, something they always said was like, it's easier to tighten the reins and then loosen them rather than try to rein things in over time. Meaning at the start of a new school year, you keep things super strict and like there's no tolerance, super discipline, all that stuff. And as time goes on, and if students like are handling that well and they're proving themselves to be responsible, you can kind of choose where to loosen things up a little bit. But if you start very like laid back and loosey goosey, and then in like December you're like, okay, now we're getting serious, they'll never listen. You've lost it. I kind of feel this was the same thing. And having seen so many people, as soon as any brand sends them an email, regardless of how credible or relevant it is, they want the sponsorship thing. Having seen so many people, as soon as they're eligible for monetization and ads on their channel, they pack full as many as you possibly can. I almost feel like I like the approach. I like my approach of like, no, and then slowly we can incorporate these things. Start very like strict and then loosen it up over time, rather than like, yeah, just everything. And then suddenly like, no, I don't want to, I think it's an easier way to go. And I've seen people run into many issues when they just sort of like take every way of monetizing their channel as soon as possible. And then it, it often doesn't end well.
Also, kombucha's in the house.
Yo.
Hello. So, obviously, Tom and I are at the point where we are both running ads on our YouTube channels. But this week, Tom turned a corner on something that you've never done before.
I'm experimenting with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is I did turn on mid-roll ads in some videos, which I've never, ever had a mid-roll ad in a video.
Do you want to talk about, okay, so why, first of all, why no mid-roll ads, Tom?
Because I don't like them. When you're watching a video, I remember the first time I saw them years ago when YouTube started implementing them, I was watching like a camera review, and literally this was before it would tell you like ad in 3, 2, 1. It just sort of like suddenly there was a 6-second ad for Frosted Flakes, and I was like watching this camera review, and it was like, Frosted Flakes, the best way to start your day. Pack the crunch now in your cereal. And then I was like, did I just like have a stroke? Like what happened? And then it went back to like someone like, and then I was like, what was that? Like it was crazy. Confusing. And I didn't want that on my channel. And so YouTube has changed over the years where even if your channel is not monetized, they're still going to run ads on it before and after your videos, or they have the option to, not that they always will. Whereas mid-rolls, they do not put mid-rolls in your videos unless you're monetized and you put them in. So if you're watching a YouTube channel and you see ads before and after the video, sometimes people will go to me and be like, oh, you put, 3 minutes of unskippable ads. Like I did not. I have no control over what ads they choose to put before the videos. If you see a mid-roll ad in a video or a video with many mid-roll ads, the person put those there. YouTube did not put those there. And I figured once someone got into the video, whether they had to watch ads or not, I wanted that to be like a safe space where there's not.
I see where you're coming from.
The viewer experience. And there's always the worry too, as a creator, like an ad starts playing, the person's going to click away and watch something else.
Yeah, but you've turned a corner.
So the flip side of that is I wanted to try something different, because the reason I did the thing was I realized a lot of channels that I like and admire and feel like they do things ethically and with integrity and in cool ways run mid-roll ads. And I didn't know this because we have YouTube Premium, and I forgot that there was even ads at all. And so I was like, oh, okay. I've heard for a number of years that mid-roll ads earn the most revenue because it's the most valuable. Obviously, the person's literally watching the video already and paying attention. That's the most valuable real estate to put an ad, right? So those are going to pay the most. And I've heard of people like literally doubling their AdSense through mid-rolls. I don't know how many, because you can, once a video is over 8 minutes long, you can put like a lot of ad breaks in it.
Yeah.
So I only put one ad break. I don't have a video that has more than one mid-roll ad break in it. And I tried for the most part to make sure they were in like places that made sense.
Well, Kyle says, I've had YouTube Premium for years now, so never had seen ads, but how does YouTube Premium affect your AdSense?
It doesn't really, because you still get a cut of YouTube Premium. And the thing with YouTube Premium is, this is another thing on in the world of streaming services where everything is, another $15-$20 a month streaming service or more. YouTube Premium, I think it's what, $17-$18 a month. You get no ads. It just eliminates ads altogether. It's not like how we pay for a Hulu subscription or an Amazon Prime subscription and there's still ads in the things. It's just like fewer ads. There's just no ads on YouTube, and you can add like 7 accounts. They don't have to be in your household or anything. You just add anyone's Gmail, like 7 total Gmails. That's crazy. I mean, like, that's a good deal. And if you're somebody who like YouTube is your main form of entertainment or a main form of content consumption, just save yourself the pain of all the ads and just get YouTube Premium. So I kind of was like, look, if you really hate mid-roll ads, get YouTube Premium. Was kind of a way that I felt about it. I don't know.
Well, I think a lot of people that we talk to have YouTube Premium. And so when you think about like the people who don't use YouTube Premium are used to watching mid-roll ads, and the people who do use YouTube Premium, they don't even notice. So it's like, well,
right.
Then turn them on.
That's the other thing too, is I was realizing like, wait, is that the average viewer experience? So I'm not putting mid-roll ads in my videos, therefore reducing the amount of income I can earn through my job. And in doing so, I'm doing that because I want to make it a more pleasant experience for the viewer. But there's a very good chance that the viewer who does not have YouTube Premium and watches ads doesn't even really notice it because they're already so accustomed, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, they're already so accustomed to being bombarded with ads, they don't even notice it. So I'm kind of just shooting myself in the foot, in a way.
Yeah. So let's see. Mr. Kamarczyk says you must be selective with sponsors. Kombucha says you can also control mid-roll ads during live streams too, right? How does that work?
We don't know.
I have no idea. So when I was setting up this stream, because we had all this conversation about mid-roll ads, I was like, oh, you could turn it on for live streams, and then you can manually insert them. I didn't do that. I decided you can change like the frequency of the mid-roll. So there's basically like a low, medium, and a high. And I just put the medium one.
Okay.
Yeah, balance.
Medium earnings potential, balanced viewer experience.
There's, conservative, which is lower earnings potential, less interrupted viewer experience. And then there's aggressive, which is higher earnings potential, more interrupted viewer experience.
Oh, wait. YouTube will not... You will still be able to manually insert ads during the stream for breaks and transition periods. Your viewers may not see ads at the same time. So does that mean people are missing parts of the stream then?
How do you earn the most? Yeah, I have no idea how it works.
Because there's an option to choose how mid-roll ads appear. Oh, so that's where you can schedule them at a set frequency, so like every 10 minutes or something, or you can do them manually. And that's where, like, if you really planned out your show, you could say, like,
but
okay,
then,
we're going to do this.
How would you do that with Ecamm? That's where it was like, how do you even push a button to be like, add now?
I think you would literally just go to almost like a countdown screen. Because I don't know if someone has YouTube Premium and they don't see ads. What do they see?
Well, how do you make it run?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, because we're on Ecamm.
Yeah, we're running on Ecamm, so I don't know.
So, like, how if you were like, okay,
I'm not going to change it now.
Insert manually. Would you go to the dashboard? There's, you know what I mean? Do you see what I'm
I don't
saying?
know.
There's no like dashboard.
Well, isn't there the streaming dashboard for YouTube? Is this the control room?
Oh, this is where you do it. This must be.
Delay ads during an important moment. You can delay them for 10 minutes. Oh, there's a thing here.
Oh, okay, we found it.
Oh my God, it's like giving us a whole tour.
We've
clearly
it.
not.
Delay ads. Insert.
Oh, so we could insert an ad.
Let's insert an ad right now.
Okay,
Let's
so we're gonna play an ad.
Okay, if you don't have YouTube Premium. Wait, if you don't have
YouTube Premium, you'll see an ad. If you do have YouTube Premium,
tell us the ad
what
that
you
see.
Yes.
And if you do have YouTube Premium, you're not going to go to ad break probably. So do you just see us?
Let's
do we
see.
just sit here?
Okay.
Okay.
See. Insert an ad.
Here we go. Okay, the
Ad
ad has
ins-
gone. I don't
Is
know
it?
if that means it's running or
I feel like this might need to be a little more.
so. If you are on premium, see, this is the thing. Like, how do I know who's still watching? Like, did everyone just go to ad?
Yeah, I don't know. Because it makes sense that you could do a thing. You could plan this out and be like, okay, after this segment, we'll be right back. And then you go to an ad like
Yeah.
old school TV. But we didn't get any notification.
Bronson's like, does it just happen on replay?
I don't think so. No, I think the point is that it happens live. Someone's getting.
Dennis got Botox.
Wow.
Coach Constance didn't see an ad, but she's on YouTube Premium. Okay, Introvert Amateur is not on Premium and did not get an ad. MCJ, nothing changed.
So what this means is that if you were doing this, and say you're doing eCam or something, you would need to find a way where you can push it to like a screen that says like, we'll be right back or something, like ad in progress, and then, but you don't know how long the ad will be.
Ads must be on replays.
I don't know.
Oh, Repel Room got a Streamline Solar ad.
How
I'm
weird.
confused. So, okay, well, it seems like
Hopefully you're done with the ads now.
Some people got ads. Some people
didn't,
even though they're not on premium. And then the premium people definitely didn't get ads.
So what it means is YouTube really thinks Repel Room needs solar.
And
it thinks
Dennis
Coach Constance not going to buy
Botox.
anything. Introvert Amateur not going to buy anything. And yeah, Dennis needs Botox.
I'm on premium and have incognito window open and didn't see an ad.
Interesting. I don't know.
I
feel like there must be some.
I feel like if we said insert ad and then an ad ran, that means it's not replay.
I was under the impression based on things YouTube
like it'll be in the replay,
said
but
that it would it would give you a thing like in here it would say ad playing in 5.
yeah. So
4,
we're
3.
like, okay, guys, we're gonna cut to our sponsor or whatever. Here's
Botox
the ad, whatever.
Cosmetic.
Yeah. Then you push the button, and then the thing is, it didn't tell us when we come back.
Yeah, so
Or
I
I
don't
guess
know.
people can skip the
I'm
ad,
confused.
though.
I don't know if that juice is worth the squeeze, but it's interesting. It's interesting. So
we're just figuring it out.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the point, right? But I remember when my channel first got monetized, it was, let's see, I hit 1,000 subscribers in 2018. It's summer of 2018. It's monetized. Like, okay, you put on ads. At that time, the maximum amount of money I could make on ads was maybe like $40 a month. And I was like, no. Like,
It's
I'll
not worth
happily
it, yeah.
spend $40 a month on this hobby to not deal with ads. And the thing I had said at the time was I didn't want to turn on ads until it was a life-changing amount of money, which sounds greedy, but when you think of what a life-changing amount of money is, it's not necessarily a ton. Like, okay, so $40, no. $10,000 a month, for sure. $100? $1,000 a month? Yeah. So I was kind of like going like, where is the sweet spot? And for me, it was somewhere around like $300 a month, because at the time I still had a car payment. My car payment was $300 a month, and it was like, okay, so essentially having my car paid off would be a life-changing amount of money, like not having a car payment anymore. And that's a good,
Yeah.
it doesn't, life-changing amount of money doesn't mean like the most massive amount of money ever.
I'm very confused by this ad insertion situation.
Well, it should be done at this point.
I know, but I feel like we have more questions than answers. Tom.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because even if you did a like, okay, so say you had an eCam scene that said we're on ad break right now, right?
Sure. We don't know how
Then
long
you
the
push
ad
the
is.
button. Well, because the ad, people can skip it. So some people can't skip it. Like, it's a different amount of time for everybody, isn't it? Like, some people are going to see the, like,
I think you would need
ad.
to know, like, okay, there will not be an ad longer than 30 seconds or something. And so, but I don't know if that's the case. Then you would set your screen to 30 seconds. But then that's annoying for the people. That's where people who are, like, on YouTube Premium or whatever, are they going to sit around for 30 seconds? So you're like, okay, stream's over. I don't know. It's maybe mid-roll ads during live streams is still not the biz.
Well, there's a lot of live streamers in this group, so I would love to hear what you guys do.
Why do we not have answers here?
Yeah. Also, Air Fryer Emporium. That was like the best. That was a couple stable, wasn't it? The air
Yeah,
fryer
I
emporium.
own that URL still.
Seriously?
Airfryeremporium.com. I forget where it goes. Probably just to my website.
That's the best.
Keep renewing it every year.
So okay, mid-roll ads. We're figuring it out on live streams.
We're figuring it out on live streams.
But you turned it on for some videos.
Turned it on some videos. Honestly, I don't know if it was enough videos to make a difference. And I don't know if it was enough mid-roll ads to make a difference, but it was what I'm comfortable with, and I wanted to wait like a week.
Yeah, you turned it on 4 days ago.
Yeah. So far, no difference.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's stay tuned. The next couple stable. I'm so curious.
Yeah, well, because that's what it almost goes back to that same thing of like life-changing amount of money. If it boosts revenue $20 a month, no.
Yeah.
If it doubles it,
hell yeah,
we're gonna be putting them in every video. Like, and I don't know where it is yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I went through all 530 videos or whatever and turned on maximum number of mid-roll ads, the revenue would go up. But then it's like there are literally videos that would have 5 or more ad breaks, and that's just insane.
Kyle's wondering if an ad block plugin prevents them. I don't use one, so I don't know.
Well, what is it? Oh, YouTube is getting weird. YouTube's trying to block ad blockers. Like, it won't let you use them anymore. It's like doing anything. But then they also are rolling out a new feature that's very controversial, which is it either goes through spots in the video where a lot of people are skipping ahead, or it like detects sponsor segments, and it puts a little, like, you know how Netflix will have a skip intro button? Yeah. YouTube has a skip ahead button, and it will skip past the sponsor segment. Which sounds like nice for a viewer, but in the world where YouTube is trying to eliminate the use of ad blockers, now it almost seems as if they're trying to reduce the value of integrated sponsor segments
that have nothing to do with them.
Yeah, so that way, essentially, like, the only way to monetize is through their ads, because then sponsors are going to be like, well, if people can just skip ahead with this, we're not going to pay as much as we've been paying, because people are just going to skip.
That's interesting. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that.
That's a little bit of a controversial
Indie Creator Hub says ads during live streams are highly intrusive unless you are planning and doing them during breaks and such.
Yeah, I feel like YouTube needs a lot more control over it, other than just push a button. We don't even know.
We wouldn't do that. I think if we were ever to do some kind of ad, well, I've been talking about this for a long time. We have to get. We're definitely gonna do. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do it this summer. But like Tom and I plan to do some pre-recorded skits.
Yeah, where we can sponsor our own thing. Like, we have.
Tom has like 3 courses to sell. We can make a fun commercial for it.
Yeah. So instead of that, we just push a button right here, and it runs an eCam video.
Yeah.
That's, a 30-second thing for one of the courses.
That's how we're going to do it. So then it's like, it's still super fun. It's entertaining. It's branded. It's us. We're in full control. Everyone's seeing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And actually, Tom did an example of this kind of new angle that we're talking about in his most recent video. Where he took an integrated ad. Right. And had a bunch of fun with it, and everyone in the comments was like, "Oh my god, this is the best sponsorship ever,"
which made me very happy. Yeah. So.
And also, Doc is here.
Doc there Pops. We go. Yeah, he's here just to see some pops. These are not available for order yet, but hopefully soon for pre-order. Because the thing about Doc Pops, speaking of ads, let me tell you about Doc Pops. The thing about them is. It is a thing. It's like the Metcalf noodles. It's just a guy.
Yeah.
It's just Doc who and it's not just like these didn't exist in, like an AliExpress and he just buying them and reselling them. Like, he paid to have molds created for specific microphones, work with different materials, work with different finishes. Even the way that, like, I guess when these are molded onto foam, the way that they're like torn off the foam. So that way it leaves things even and consistent. Because if like the top here, say it like got pulled off its thing, but there was like a thick part and a thin part, then when you're moving around it, it's going to change the sound because it's so to make sure everything is even. Also using like genuine acoustic foam and not just squishy foam. So that's a lot. I know he's been working on it a long time, and so many prototypes and so many figuring out manufacturing. Like, it is really like I would not have the patience for this. So yeah, if you got links, Doc, you can add those links in the chat here. But that's pretty cool. So at some point, hopefully in the near future, they'll be available for pre-sale, because it's also a thing where he can't order one or two. He has to order them like literally by the thousands.
The batch, yeah.
And in different colors and in different models. So it's an expensive.
Great colors.
It's a thing
though.
where like he's probably hopefully going to break even at best, you know. But it's cool to have something that'll be relatively affordable, cheap shipping, and cool options.
Yeah. Kyle says, I just bought Final Cut Pro finally, so maybe I'll check out your course. Although 601 week might be tough.
Yeah, don't worry about that right now. But if you wanted to learn Final Cut Pro, you can learn FinalCutPro.com. Look at us
From the Final Cut Pro.
monetizing left
Oh
and right.
my goodness!
What?
Here we go. Well,
Oh, you were talking about the video.
Yeah.
The recent video. Yeah. So this is kind of interesting because I'm always very selective and hesitant to put sponsored segments,
Yes.
actual sponsored segments in videos. It's not like company sent thing and now I'm reviewing it and I make the disclaimer, but like
no, yeah.
we have paid you
actual-
to take
yeah.
a minute or two out of the video to talk about a thing.
Yeah.
Like a regular, legit sponsored video. I think I've done that. This might be the 12th time I've ever done it out of 500 videos. And I think I've done it twice this year, once last year. Like it's huge gaps typically in between sponsored things. So I'm very kind of selective. And it's pretty much been the same, it's the same couple of
Same companies.
pretty much. It's been like Sennheiser, Artlist,
Yeah.
Gear Focus, Epidemic. Those might be it. Might just be those ones.
It's so funny that you've never been sponsored by Rode. I feel like people would be very surprised to know that.
Yeah, Rode has never actually paid me any money, but in a way that's maybe a good thing to kind of
Yeah.
But also at this point, maybe it's like if people already think they are paying me a bunch of money, then sure, pay me a bunch of money, and I'll keep doing everything the same. But it is hard, you do something sponsored, and it changes that.
I mean, look at this.
The dynamic a little bit.
This is just on my desk. Do you see this?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
This is our house.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the Artlist one.
Yeah.
So I've done art. I started my YouTube channel 7 years ago tomorrow.
Yeah.
7 years ago tomorrow is literally also when I started my Artlist subscription, because I started my channel and I was like, I want to take this seriously. I want to do things well, and I thought it was so official to like get my actual royalty-free music license, and so I paid my $300 for the year, $200 for the year, whatever it was.
Such a Tom Buck thing.
And I was like, I'm ready to go. Like, I don't have to worry about anything.
It's all legit now.
It's real. I put money into this. I haven't even made a video yet, and I put money into this.
It's really cute.
So that it's a thing that I use, and I think it was in 2020 maybe that they asked to sponsor something for the first time, and I was like, I'm not ready yet. And it was literally 2021, like a full year later, that they were like, hey, are you comfortable with anything yet? And I was like, okay, I've used your thing for 5 years or whatever now, more. Let's do a sponsored thing. And so that's something that's happened a few times because I use Artlist music all the time.
Yeah.
This was a little different because Artlist announced earlier this week that they integrated something called AI voiceover, where you can literally type in some text and then you have a library of voices that you can choose from to read it, and you can change, the tone, you can sort of change the dynamics of the voice. And so there's a lot of them in there. There's like so many different voices. And so they were like, hey, we're launching this thing. We're really excited about it. Do you want to do a sponsor thing for it? And my initial answer was...
No. Actually, it was like a resounding... It was a resounding no.
Well, and the reason for that was because I was like, my channel is about teaching people how to make audio and video production.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I want to then advertise a thing that is sort of the opposite of that, right? And so I was like, okay, yeah, no. And I told them no. And I was like, yeah, if you want to do like, a regular music library one, happy to do that at some point. And then they were like, okay, that's fine. But like, they gave me beta access to the AI voiceover thing. Like,
oh, that's right. Yeah.
They're like,
and then
just check it out.
Yeah.
And what was kind of crazy is I was in the kitchen, like playing around with it. And you were like, you thought I was flipping through YouTube videos. Like I was watching different videos, but I was just using
Going
the different
through the
voices.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I thought it sounded pretty good. It kind of fooled you. And then the thing that then the thing I was thinking of is like, believe it or not, everyone in the world's not me. It doesn't have the same needs as me.
Well, I think I said like a lot of people who watch your channel work with clients.
Yes.
So they don't necessarily make their own content.
Right.
Not everyone who watches your channel is going to be in front of the camera
Or behind the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's, like you wouldn't necessarily use it, but I think even then it was like you found a way to do it creatively.
Yeah.
But just to show the feature to people who would actually find it valuable.
Yeah, and that was kind of my thing. Like, okay, there is actually value to this because there are people who watch my channel, watch the audio video stuff, but they're like, okay, I'm in a situation where for whatever reason it's not practical or possible for me to be on the microphone.
Yeah.
What do I do? And here's actually my own experience with this. 9 years ago, when I was teaching, I had students. Our school district said, can you make a promotional thing for all of the career tech programs in the district? So it's like, our school district offers, culinary, medical, digital arts, like whatever, all these things. And my students spent the last like couple weeks of the school year, a group of students putting this thing together, and it was going to play before movies in a local theater. It's like before the trailers start, there's always like the local ads. It was going to be one of those. And so we did all that, and they were like, yeah, we have a voiceover person who's going to record. We need the ad from you. They had the script already. Send it, and they're going to have their person do it. So we finish our part. We send it in. School year ends. My classroom's torn apart. I turn in my keys. I can't even go in there for the summer. It's literally the first day of summer vacation, and I get a call from one of the district admins who's like, we have the thing, but the voiceover person can't do it. Can you work with any students to record a voice, like use a student voice? And I was like, no, like, I don't have my students like phone numbers. No. And they were like, well, could you do it? And I was like, I don't know. So I ended up grabbing my Zoom H4n and going in the guest bedroom, which is on the other side of this wall, and just going like, the school district offers like all these programs, blah, 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 blah. And like trying to read it and like sending them in. They're like, okay, we're going to use this. Little did I know that for the next 2 years, this ad would run in the theater with my voice booming over. And it sounded fine and it worked great. Wouldn't it have been better if they could have literally just been, oh, we'll just type this in the computer and get like we could even like have options. It's not just it's Tom or nobody. It's
you have a female voice, male voice.
Yeah. Do you want a British accent, American accent? Yeah. Do you want upbeat? Like you can fine tune it to be exactly what you want it to be. It would have been a hugely helpful, life-saving thing, project-saving thing for them. And I was like, okay, I have actually been in this situation. I know people in a situation. I'm going to revisit this. And maybe this would actually be a cool thing to do because you gave me an idea.
I did. That's what I was waiting for.
I know. I like to contextualize, and sometimes it takes a while.
I was like, get to it, baby.
I know you were. Enjoy the journey, okay? The story.
It's all about the journey.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I know.
At the end of the day, it's like, okay, Tom, you did an ad read in a video. Cool. Bajillions of YouTubers do that every day. Let's go into the let's go into the thought that goes behind it.
Let's go into the thought, yes.
It's not just like, hey, here's a crappy water bottle that leaks all over the place. Buy it.
Well, let's check in with the comments real quick. Guild's here. Hey, everyone. July 1st, if I stop watching y'all and get this dang site up, it's going to be at docmerch.com. I know I will get kicked off, but I will get them out fast. Gil liked your video. I use Artlist because of you, so we good.
Yeah, and it was crazy. I made a video just on my own. It was a sponsored thing in like 2019 that was Artlist versus Epidemic. And that video, that was where both companies first reached out to me like, hey, we have affiliate programs. Do you want to put them in your video description? And I was like, oh, okay. At one point from Artlist, actually for almost like a year, it was generating like $1,200 to $1,800 a month.
What was?
Artlist.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it's like $20 a person. Like so many people were signing up. Now it does not generate that like it is very much a wave of like, okay, I think the maximum number of people that I can drive towards an Artlist music subscription has been reached.
Yeah.
AI voiceover could be a little different.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's also just the brand awareness thing. Like,
Tom is that one girl from high school that told everyone no. Hard to get. HR is adding needed balance to the situation. Tom is bucking the norm, telling sponsors no.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so what was the idea?
So your idea was, what if you like had the AI voice help you with the ad read?
Yes.
Which the ad read, by the way, they didn't give me anything. They was just like, this was another thing too, was like, I don't ever like take a script from a company and do it.
Yeah.
It's like, I will do the thing here and that's it.
Is that what I said? I said, like, why don't you have
Or why
like
don't
a
you talk to the voice or
Yeah,
something?
like have a conversation with it.
And I was like, oh, that would be fun. Like, okay, it's me talking to it. The voice can actually talk about some of its own features.
You know what I was thinking of? Jarvis.
Oh, like Iron Man?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the thought I had
Yeah.
in my head. Is like you're.
And I thought that was a cool idea. It's like, oh, I think this will be really fun. And then I remember one morning you were taking a nap, and I was like, yeah, I want to do this. And I had the idea. I was like, well, there's so many different voices. I don't know which one to use. And I was like,
You're
what
like,
if I
let's
picked a
just
couple
use all of them
and made it like a thing where they're talking to each other and they're talking to me, and then they kind of gang up on me. There's like a plot. And so then I like wrote out this script, and I went through and like found the voices I wanted to use, and then I had to get the inflections right, like really play around with it. So there's, sometimes it took like 5 or 6 different like ways of writing a line before the voice like hit the things that I wanted, or adjusting the tone till it was how I wanted it. So it's still, even though it's AI, like there's still a pretty huge degree of like human touch being put in there. And then it was funny because it's like, yeah, the ad read is then like, I'm going to tell you about this thing, and like, here's my friend to help out. And then my friend joins in and helps out. Like you hear her voice, and then another one joins in, and then they start like talking to each other kind of about me. And then like,
It was so funny.
and then a third
It
one
was
joins
great.
in, and it really did a good job of like hitting the tone perfectly.
Yeah.
And it was hard. It was hard to like record their lines, put their lines in, play it back, and act to them. Like it was a lot of work.
You definitely, that was out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you.
And
for
I had
trying.
to tell Artlist before, and I was like, okay, I have an idea for this, and I was trying to explain this.
Yeah, because you know who's not coming up with this idea is Artlist. There's
Yeah.
no way.
They were like, I think this sounds neat, but I still don't understand it. We'll have to just see what you mean. And I was like, okay, but I wanted to let them know like I'm gonna do something a little different. But I was like, I think this is actually great because it shows the variety and the like. I think this is actually a really great way of showcasing
because the way that you did it is like you almost showed more possibility than. If you think of AI voiceover, you're going to think of it's a commercial and you have a voiceover.
Right.
But you did like conversation, you did, like satire, you did. I feel like people would be inspired more by the way that you did it versus, everyone's going to think of the most popular thing, which is just like a, voiceover commercial thing.
Yeah, and it was cool because when the video came out yesterday, I'm always nervous, and I'm nervous whenever there's a sponsored thing that people are like, like blah blah, which literally never happened. In fact, it's been the opposite, where sometimes people are like, hey, good for you. But I was nervous with this one because it was out of my comfort zone. It ended up being a little longer, and I was like, I tried cutting it down, but like,
no, it was great.
I know, but it's like a 2-minute ad read, and it didn't need to be. That wasn't the requirement. I just like couldn't make it shorter because I wanted it's like good, I don't know. I liked it.
He had a good time.
Which, by the way, yeah, the company's not going to be mad. Like, oh no, you put more time in the video than we like told you needed to do. But it was cool because people like enjoyed it. People had fun with it. People seemed interested in the new feature, and that was awesome. And I think the reason that we wanted to even bring it up today was because it was a good example of like Doc mentioned Squarespace. For the most part, when you see someone read a Squarespace ad, it's kind of like you copy and paste the same ad read to any channel, and that I guess is fine. But it's kind of neat when a brand is like, your channel and your audience best. They didn't even know what video is gonna go. And like I was like, oh, I'm doing this video. This would be a fun one. It involves microphones. It kind of like ties in a little bit without there being a conflict of interest. Like.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm choosing the video it goes in. I'm choosing how it's done. I'm choosing where it is in the video. Like all of those things. And clearly it worked. And that's and from the brand side of things, instead of trying to micromanage like, oh, we want to sponsor your channel, but it has to be exactly this way. Take out all your personality.
Let the
do it our way.
person do the creative thing,
Not only is that better for for them and their audience and the brand, but then the brand doesn't have to do it. They don't have to micromanage or like go through revisions and things.
You know your audience best, so
Right.
obviously like you're gonna know how to talk to them in a way where you're talking about something that is like not yours, but in a way that is
Right.
contextualized to your audience.
Yeah, and it was a fun thing to try, and obviously like, you know, it's a helpful.
Well, I think that's the key.
I felt like
'cause
a win for everybody.
You had a lot of fun making it. You were over like
I had a
literally.
ton of fun making it.
He could not stop until he was done.
No, because
Like,
that was when I mentioned
at
you.
his laptop.
Yeah, you were taking a nap, and I was like, okay, what about this? What about this? And by the time you're done, I already had like a rough cut.
He just kept
of
going.
the voices, and I
yeah.
was like, you have to hear this. It's funny.
Gil says at a podcast conference, and I must say, Tom is pretty popular with this crowd. Oh, how fun. Yes, there is a guest bedroom, and yes, book your flight and come on over. Except that it's like, I just got an excessive heat warning on my watch. It's like so hot here right
That's
now.
because everywhere you go is hot. I wish wherever she goes, just excessive heat warning.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me right now? I think the best ad reads are done in the natural flow of conversation.
Yeah, not in the skeezy way where it's like you don't realize it's an ad, you know, like, but where it's genuine. It's like, hey, here's a cool thing, and that's why like not only realizing I actually understand the need for this specific feature, but then using it and being like, oh my god, I actually really like this, and like there are even conceivable situations where I would want to use it for things because
and see what's
sometimes
cool about
I can't
that
sound like a British woman.
is like you can use that as an example for future sponsorship. Like here's an example of what I've done before.
And they ended up really liking it too, so that made me very happy.
That's cool. Well, if you haven't checked it out, go check out the most recent video on Tom's channel.
It's the Rode Interview Pro review.
See, now we're gonna go and intentionally tell you to watch an ad instead of.
It's about 5 minutes in the video.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the chapter markers, so I always put it there. So if you want to skip the ad, you can just.
Oh, I know. That's cute. All right. I think we're all caught up and everything. Look at that.
Hey, that's nice. Mr. Cameron just said he did a great job of giving the voices personality. It's fun because what I learned with it was the voices kind of respond to how you would like write in a text, you know? So like if you try to like capitalize a word to emphasize it, it'll change the way they read it. Not capitalize, but like all caps a word to emphasize it. Or if you put something in quotes, it'll kind of give it a sarcastic thing. Because the thing that I did was something
you
about
gotta play around with it.
Yeah, because like the first voice says something like, she's like, hey, Tom, I love your channel. And she's like, and now I'd like to channel your attention to this. And she like she says it like that, which is exactly how I wanted it. But it took a few things, and I couldn't believe that like you hit like kind of a sarcastic wordplay. Like, how did you do that? There was a thing though. The one thing that I couldn't get was at one point they say something when the third voice joins in. I go like, "Wow, it's like all my friends are here," and one of them goes, "I bet he's never had this many friends in his life." And they were all supposed to laugh together, and I couldn't make them laugh.
Oh.
There were some funny things that kind of worked. I didn't know how to do it, like ha ha ha, and I tried putting like laughter parentheses, and they were just like laughter. So there was some of the laughing actually worked, or like the tone would change and it started to sound natural, but it was really hard to like. I was like, I think I'm gonna spend like 2 hours on this, and it's not necessary.
Mr. Cameron Jesse says, it's commonplace for me to skip a Squarespace ad because they're all the same.
Yeah. Which is so funny. Like, I've never heard a word from Squarespace, and they're like such a stereotypical YouTube channel sponsor, and I've used them for 15 years for many websites, personally and professionally. Like, it would actually be a good sponsor.
Hello.
See ya.
Johnny.
He's got to pop into a meeting.
Oh, man. Well, I'm very proud of you for trying something a little out of the box.
Thanks. Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for the good idea, because it's something I've been trying to do lately. I'm trying to get better at is I have my initial reactions to things. So something like this, no, like I don't want to do a sponsor thing. I don't want to do it for a service that it's my knee jerk reaction. That's what it is. I've been trying to I've been trying to not have that reaction because then I can think of things more clearly. Like you're the one who told me, when you get an email about something that requires a decision, wait 24 hours to reply to it. Don't even if you know for sure what your answer is going to be, wait 24 hours. And the other thing too, in addition to my own thing evolving, if I don't have a super strong knee-jerk reaction, if I say, no, there's no way I want to do this, then, for example, you might not feel super comfortable to say like, well, what if you did? Oh, like he made a decision, he doesn't want to do it anymore. Whereas if I go like if I tell you like, this is what they said, this with that, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Now I have more time to like let my thoughts evolve, and you have a more comfortable opening to like share thoughts and feel like they're going to be heard.
You're so sweet. See, it's a collaborative effort. An example of ads I never skip: Harry Mack. Do you know what Harry Mack is? I
don't know.
There you go. They must be really good. We'll have to check them out.
I mean, there's cool ways of doing it. Like, I know we've talked about it before. Caleb Pike does a good job of like, he doesn't do sponsored things, but he says he's like
sponsored by his own thing.
Sponsored by himself. Yeah. These videos are supported by everyone who enrolls. He has like a million little like mini courses and things. And so he just advertised those.
There's a Japanese channel that I watched that did the same thing. He did skits of like himself as a ninja and had a whole personality, and they all were just 30-second ads of his course.
Yeah. I mean, that's a cool thing because it's like the number of times that I've had people go like, "Oh, you should make a course." I'm like, I have 3.
It makes sense. It's like if you're gonna watch the Disney movie, here's the Disney merch.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, of course that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's also, obviously the difference is if you're advertising your own thing, then there's no definitive return on that investment. Whereas if you do a sponsorship, it's like, okay, I'm doing this long of a segment or whatever, and I get X amount of money.
I know, but one thing that I always thought about is like, like what if you did an ad for a thing that you have an affiliate with? So it's not a sponsorship, but like Ecamm, for example. Like we could do a 30-second skit about Ecamm, and we're not getting paid.
Not in like an Ecamm tutorial. Like obviously, if we did like an Ecamm, I don't know, like how to set up scenes in Ecamm, it would make sense to put like the affiliate link to Ecamm in the description for that video. But you're saying in like almost a different video,
no, to do the same thing, like do a 1-minute integrated ad, but for something that you're an affiliate with.
I don't know if I've ever seen anybody do that.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't. Like, I feel like I've seen this before. Because it's the same thing. So, like, say you're doing your review here, MV7 Plus, right? And in the middle, you just do, you just make one up. Like, do an ad for ConvertKit. Hey, I send out my newsletters, signed up with this code, and then boom.
I've never, what do you, I mean, maybe I've seen it done. I didn't know that's what it was. Maybe I thought it was a sponsorship. In that case,
10% off if you use my code.
I wonder how the companies would that run the risk of appearing sponsored when you're not? Like, would that?
I've seen this done before for sure.
I'm curious about it now. Yeah, I don't know. And would you have to check the box because you're not? There is no agreement. You didn't receive anything.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Interesting.
Because then it's like then there's no expectation, and I feel like that's the whole point about being an affiliate is like you're like an ambassador.
Right.
So here's the code, you get commission, and you do it however you want.
I mean, ultimately, I know with any brand, like if you're bringing in new client, they don't, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Like they don't care.
Exactly. And I think like in certain cases, it might even take away from the whole like, oh, this is sponsored. Well, it's not.
Interesting.
Think about it. Yeah. Think about it. HMAC. Oh, we'll have to check out this HMAC. Yeah. Hello, everyone. What's up? Level Up with Mike Newman. Made it just in time to say have a great weekend, everybody. Have a great weekend. My birthday
is on Tuesday.
I was going to say Monday. It's Tuesday. I'm going to be 39. We'll have to do something fun for 40.
What's up?
40.
Sorry, My phone made a sound and I got confused.
I'm so looking at my ADHD cannot put this thing down.
No, I was using it last week. I kept
Oh,
putting my
were
finger
you?
like a ring.
Oh yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
So Heather, this is your last couples table of 38. Ain't it great?
Yes.
Amy 39, feeling fine.
Feeling fine. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like you're really thinking about that affiliate thing.
It's something I never considered. But Kim says happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Yay.
Well, we are at the top of the hour, so time to clear the table.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Thanks for hanging out with Thanks for hanging out with everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody.
yeah, and thanks for hanging out with everybody. Those of you keeping each other company in the chat.
Yes.
There we go. Hope you have a safe, happy, healthy, fun rest of your week and weekend. And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Dun, 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 dun.